Hello fellow booktubers, my name is Lauren and you're watching Dreams Books Courage, and today is Top 5 Wednesday. This week's topic is characters you wish you could drown, and I feel like that's a little bit too much for me. Like, even if I could drown these characters, I probably wouldn't, just because my self-conscious is too much for me and I'd feel extremely guilty about it. So instead, I'm going to be talking about the characters that I love to hate, which is along the same lines of the original topic, so let's go ahead and get into these characters. So in the 5th place spot, we actually have two characters from one book, and that is a donkey and an ape from the Chronicles of Narnia series, which is specifically within the last book. These two characters actually act like they're Aslan, who is God within this series. So that is just a horrifying scene, and it made me cry while reading it because it was just that sad, and I couldn't believe that anyone would act like they were Aslan, even though they were very cheap imitations of him. And what was worse was that people actually believed that they were Aslan. And so I definitely love to hate those two characters because they're just such horrible animals. And in the 4th place spot, we have Prince Maven from Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. And I won't go into specifics, but he's just such a horrible character. And the things that he does, I just cannot even believe. Although that's kind of hard to pick from since there are just a lot of horrible characters within this book, but he's probably the one that I love to hate the most. In the 3rd place spot, we have King Brannon from the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J Maas. And throughout the series, he just continues to get worse and worse, but especially in Heir of Fire, at the end of that book, I just could not believe what he did. And overall, King Brannon is just a horrible person, even to his son. And it was very hard to decide who went into these final two spots, but in the 2nd place we have Peter Van Houten from The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. He is just such a horrible person, and the things that he says are completely inexcusable. He is an amazing author, but an absolute terrible person, and he's definitely a character that I very much so love to hate. And finally, in the 1st place spot, we have Professor Umbridge from the Harry Potter series by J.K. Rowling. I'm sure you guys all know how horrible Professor Umbridge is, and how she does terrible things to her students, and her trying to fill Dumbledore's place was like the worst thing ever. Professor Umbridge is like worse than Voldemort, which is insane to say, but I think that a lot of you would agree with that statement because she's just such a terrible person for absolutely no reason, and it was very hard for me to even comprehend how bad of a person she was throughout the series, but I definitely love to hate her. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I would love to know down below which character you love to hate the most, and now I'm gonna go get back to reading.